Everyone has something to share, in either wisdom, story, or logic, and it's clearly amazing to hear all the differing missing links discovered by people, unique to their own journeys, and in how they have come to discover them. Together, we can help to build a bigger picture for a better future, for a brighter tomorrow. Let's stand united. Let's remove the veils, and let's create a new world together. Are you that missing link? Join Jesse Hale on the Missing Link Talk Show as he helps to unveil the mystery through the unique wisdom and story of others. Only on Real Revolution Radio X.
Welcome everybody here to the Missing Link. It's love-inspiring new knowledge, and here we have my brother, my friend, Andrés, Malachi, Moreno from Tales from the Ship and the 144 Club. How are you today, brother?
I'm doing great. How you doing? I'm very excited to be on the Missing Link, and not to be worried about controlling and sharing. Since I always have people invited on my show, so at this time I got to do nothing. I just gonna relax and enjoy the ride. And right?
Yeah,
Yes,
brother.
exactly.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, just in case anybody's watching doesn't know who you are. Tell us a little bit about your journey to get to where we are here today for the second time on the Missing Link.
Yes. Again, my name is Andres Moreno. I'm from Monterrey, Mexico. Beautiful Monterrey, Mexico. Monterrey is in the south of Mexico, very close to Texas. I was there until I actually finished my university. Then I moved to Cancun, where I live for almost 10 years. And that's where I have my first contact with the extraterrestrials, was actually in Tulum, Cancun. I don't know if I actually told that story on the Missing Link, on the previous Missing Link, but if I haven't, I can just tell you quickly what's going on with me. But before I get to that, I been on a show. I host a show. It's called Tales from the Ship, and I have many speakers coming and sharing knowledge and consciousness and love, and this just sharing their experience, strengths and hope about this wonderful journey that we all having, this wonderful victory of the light, the way I call it, because we just writing history as we speak. We're part of this beautiful history of transformation of the planet. So I've been on the show for 4 years. I got over 500, 600 episodes of Tales from the Ship, between Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people doesn't know that. But anyways, what else? Just trying to bring hope, love, light, and teach others and learn myself. You know what they said: when you teach something, you keep learning yourself. So I guess the way I learn consciousness and the way I learn this new age of this star seeds and this collective of love and light is by teaching. And it's very, very interesting the way I actually start picking up on all this, right?
Awesome. And why don't you tell us, you did tell us on the first Missing Link about, your first experience, but, again, for anybody that's not, doesn't know who you are, it would be great to hear that again.
Well, yeah. Well, let me just start with this. I always been intuitive since I have used, since I can actually remember. I've been intuitive. When I was a kid, I used to see people's auras. I see people with colors around them. I didn't know what it was. and then I start seeing dead people. I see dead people. So yes, other people that already pass into a different dimension, I start noticing them. Um, some of them even communicate with me. Some of them verbally, some of them not just verbally, just by signs or waving on me or um, very interested, um, you know, life that I have as a child. I have many experiences, um, especially when I was like 5 or 6 years old. I remember being asleep, and Monterrey is very hot. I mean, it's one of the extreme weathers that you actually can find in Mexico when and summer is super hot and the winter is super cold. But in summer it's like almost unbearable hot, unbearable. And back in the day, I'm talking about 1980s, we didn't have air conditions. So all we got to do is just open the window. Hopefully, Gaia will blow some air, and I have some fans, of course, at some point, because in 1980s, 1970 plus, it was some fans, but not everybody has them because my family was they were not very wealthy. So I remember being laying on the floor, and then it was so hot I couldn't even sleep. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm like 5 a.m. I'm like 5 years old, and I look up and I saw this galactic guy standing on the window of the house where we were staying, and it was one of those like windows from my house was a very old house from the Revolution of Mexico. So uh, windows in my house that were the size of a door. You open the top and then you open the bottom, right? So you technically we have this huge window. So I look and I saw this galactic staying there. This guy wearing like a neoprene suit and almost like this dark blue color. He was covering his face, almost like a Captain America mask. You can see this part of his face, but you cannot see his hair or anything. Almost like a superhero, right? And he was wearing glasses like the Oakleys. Remember from back in 1990 when we were in Cancun, we used to wear those Oakleys.
I still wear them.
You still wear them? Okay, so yeah, so he was wearing these galactic glasses, and he was looking at me. I got freaked out. I wake up and I look at the window. The first thing I see, this galactus is standing like almost on top of me because I was sleeping right almost at the window, right? So I look at the guy, and then I look. He has this belt with several things in it. I don't know, devices. Uh, he has his boots. It was almost like it was part of the suit, and then he was very tall. I'm 6'4" right now, 6'5". I mean, this guy was easily 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall. It was very, very tall. I mean, he looks like a giant. And I was a kid. I was petrified. I was looking at this being standing there. Um, he saw me and he smiled. He just smiled to me. He's like that, right? And when he smiled, I felt this sense of love. I didn't feel threatened or afraid or anything. I just somehow I feel like I knew this guy.
So not like a galactic peeper?
No, I well, let me finish the story because it gets better. Um, So I kind of knew this guy. I was like, the heck is this guy? He's looking at me and he's smiling and everything. And then all of a sudden, I saw this light coming out of like his stomach. His flash started coming out of his stomach and then boom, disappeared. All right, time passed, and when I started getting awake, I'm telling you, 10 years ago, when my awakening started happening, and I started getting connected with the galactics, I really start talking to them. Um, I found out that that was me from the future, who went back in time and see myself. And when they told me that, it totally, they somehow refreshed the memory that I can see my face. I I remember like yesterday that face, and yes, it looks just like me now with no beard. You know that I have this pimple right here. You cannot see it because I have beard, but I got my split chin, and it's very particular. My chin is completely split in the middle, and that's exactly how that guy looks like. So the Galactic says, Andres, that was you from the future coming back and traveling in time in the past to see yourself. And I was like, what? So I was expecting to be somebody else, something else. But you know what they say about quantum physics. The observer sometimes observe himself to a certain point.
Not supposed to touch, but can observe.
You're not supposed to touch, but you can observe yourself at some point. You can always see an alternate reality where there is another fractal of you passing by in the metro, in the same metro that you can take every day, or in the same place where you take the bus. And then all of a sudden you see yourself across the street. And you're like, dude, that's me standing right there. And honestly, I'm telling you with all my heart, I have come across myself several times, observing me, seeing me. Um, Actually, in my life, I know I was part of the Ashtar command. That's what I call myself. Well, my cosmic name is Malachi. Malachi. Um, and I know that I'm Ash Malachi or Ashtar Malachi. Um, I found out that I was in Atlantis, that I arrived with Commander Atlan, a Pleiadian, who arrived and technically land his ship right outside of the Sahara Desert near Portugal, near Morocco. And as a matter of fact, the mountains on the Sahara Desert, they're in front of the Atlantic Ocean. They call him Atlas, Mount Atlas. But they name it after him, after Commander Atlan. A lot of people doesn't know that. Commander Atlan arrived there. We arrived there. I arrived there with him. Um, so I've been here since Atlantis, since all these issues going to war with the Lemurians, the pandemic that we have in Atlantis as well. I have remembered so many things about Atlantis. You have watched some of the shows with Sarah Cosme. That she wrote a book about Atlantis, and my other sister as well. They actually wrote books about Atlantis. People they actually remember Atlantis very well. And if you watch those tales from the ship, if you remembering being in Atlantis or Lemuria, you start actually identify yourself with what's going on, what happened. Um, and so a lot of Pleiadians, Atlanteans, we got stuck here. Just like Alex Collier. Alex Collier got stuck here. He was visiting in Atlantis. And because of the war and the falling of the vibration of the planet completely fall so dramatically that he couldn't leave anymore. But that happens to all of us because when you are in a higher vibration, if you are a high vibrational being, for instance, let's say that you are in the 12th dimension or the 10th dimension, or people doesn't know. People think they all beings just go to the 12 and that's it. No, there is actually beings on the 20th dimension, on the 30th dimension, and I mean, there is actually higher than 12. 12 is the maximum where you can actually reach benevolent beings. That's the 12D. But after 12D, there is more dimensions and more dimensions. So um, a lot of those beings, they don't even have physicality when they were on planet Earth. That were high vibrational beings. They have nothing by, unfortunately, they couldn't leave the planet because the planet dramatically dropped the human resonance, the vibration, and they gained physicality. So they were etheric and they turned physically.
Wow.
So they couldn't jump into their ships and leave because their ship was in the 10th dimension, 12th dimension, and now they were the third dimensional being. So they couldn't see the ship anymore.
Stuck.
They get completely stuck on Earth. They get totally stuck. And that happened to a lot of Atlanteans, including myself, a lot of Lemurians, a lot of Lyrans, a lot of Arcturians, a lot of um, um, for all the races, for all the extraterrestrial races that we know, that you and I know. So that's what happened to me. So I've been here, according to my Akashic Records. I've been here for the last 35,000 years. I'm a wanderer. That's the There is a difference between a volunteer and a wanderer. Wanderer souls, we just like to go and reincarnate in different galaxies and places, and we just like to try different things. I understand that I went through more than 20 ascensions and different galaxies and planets. This is not the first time that I have done this, that I actually ascend, or help others to ascend, or hold the light in order to ascend. It's not the first time. Um, I'm very particular, as you can see. I'm not the like the spiritual guy that is going to be so serious and very quiet. And I'm a wiggly worm. I'll be honest with you, and this is who I am. I have a lot of energy. I got nothing but love, compassion, and evidence for everybody. Um, I think you know exactly who I am when it comes to as a person. You know the kind of person that I am. I care about others. I'm here to serve others, um, and I take the challenge. I came here. I raised my hand. Somehow, right now, my higher self is telling me that I already knew that I supposed to get stuck in here. I just came with the crew as a Pleiadian that I was because I wanted to have fun. But somehow I already knew that I will get stuck in here, and I will, help my brothers and sisters and all the Pleiadians and Lemurians and other races, the Arcturians that were here on the Canary Islands, the Blues. Um, I mean, I can tell you, I can go on and on about Atlantis. Um, but all this information start coming to me about 12, 13 years ago. But then, um, I always been intuitive, always. Before I get into the galactics more, I was more like a medium, like super intuitive. I can see that people, I can see auras of people when they get different colors. So, for instance, there was a neighbor in Mexico, and he used to drink a lot, right? My neighbor. He's a very good person, but he's always with the beer in the hand and the tequila. And then one day I saw him in the street, and I saw this black aura again around him, this black energy. And then and I got a little freaked out, right? So my papa says, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, he has black around him." Next day he died. So I know that when there is darkness, when it's dark, when your aura is already dark, you're like almost ready to unplug yourself from this reality. That's something that I learned. That nobody teach me that. I just learn it because I experience it. Um, what else I can tell you? Out of body experiences, being on the ship. When I was 11, 12 years old, I remember looking myself sleeping on the bed, floating. So I'm actually floating and I'm looking myself sleeping. But it gets better. Then my physical body wake up and then I see myself floating. So the consciousness switch because when I was on the bed asleep, and then my consciousness completely 100% aware, I'm floating on top of me and I'm looking at myself and I'm like, wow. So I start going into the roof and I can see the materials of the shingles and everything on the roof. As I'm going through the roof, I'm looking at the materials, the cement, because in Mexico we actually build with cement, the cement and everything. I was like, what? So fly to the sky, fly out of the planet. And I remember being picked out by some galactics. They came in a ship and it's like, hey, are you lost or something?
Were you hitchhiking?
Telepathically? It's like you. I'm like, hey, no. I just saw them and they were so invited. They were actually Pleiadians. And I went in the ship and they knew who I was immediately. This is a Malachi. So somehow remember being on the ship that dropped back to Monterrey, Santa Catarina, Mexico. That's where I used to live. And then they said, go on. So I get off of the ship. They took off. I went back into my roof, going back into my bed, and then I saw myself sleeping. But then my physical body started awakening. My physical body wake up. And when I saw myself floating, my physical body went, and then I went like that too. And I remember just dropping to my body like a dead animal. And so I thought that I was actually dreaming, but I was not dreaming. It was an out of body experience. So I have many of those. I remember being flying all over the planet, uh, everywhere. I used to go everywhere. Having those out of body experiences. But um, since I was a kid, um, I remember being on Mount Sinai, where actually Jesus was crucified. I remember feeling the fear, watching him die, feeling the fear. I remember seeing a huge mothership standing above Jerusalem. This mothership actually covered the sun at some point. The Bible says that the sun actually, there was like an eclipse, but the eclipse, they never tell you it was a mothership. Um, so yeah, I mean, I start remembering so many things about my past lives. Um, on the last 12 years, I even remember more stuff and from World War II, from World War I. I'm sorry, one of my past lives that I was in Italy. Things like that. I just remember things. I was in Egypt too. I was a ruler. I'm not going to tell you the names. People's going to get upset when I tell them who I was. but yeah, I supposed to be an Egypt ruler back in the day. Very good friends, or maybe a brother of Moses. Who knows? Um, I remember like yesterday. Stuff like this. So my awakening start happening, and more the connection with the galactics start happening more and more, to the point that the galactics come and pick me up here in Maryland, where I live. They come and pick me up physically, and just like Corey Ward says that he's in the bubble when they used to come and get him and take him to the secret space program. Well, the same thing. The same thing. I was in the bubble, and physically, man, not on my astro, not on my astro body, my soul. Actually, physically, they took me physically to the ship. Um, it's funny that everybody's talking about Ganymede because I've been there too, physically, for I understand 7 days. I remember some things. I do not remember other things. Um,
Tell us more about Ganymede, because it seems like everybody's talking about Ganymede right now.
Everyone's talking about Ganymede because Ganymede is technically the center, the mission control of this, uh, the liberation of Gaia and the liberation of the entire Milky Way. The mission has a name and it's called the Jupiter mission. They didn't call it Earth mission. They didn't call it Gaia mission. They actually call it Jupiter mission. Um, so Ganymede is one of the commander centers of the Galactic Federation of the Free Worlds, Galactic Federation of Light, the Andromeda Council. So that's what everybody actually gather. Um, the Pleiadian Empire Council, the Syrian Council, they all gather in there. And it's, as you can see, as you know, it's a moon that is actually outside of Jupiter planet. Um, Ganymede is where all the strategy of this inducement of planet Earth ascension plans took place. Technically, that's where the Earth Council, or our galactic program, the galactic space program that we have, actually is met in with other Earth, with other galactic consuls, as the Andromedans, as the Galactic Federation of Life, as the Ashtar Command, as the Galactic Federation, as the Central Sun government. So all this it takes place there. It's technically it's like the cosmic United Nations. Technically, they all get together in Ganymede. If they're gonna make a deal, to make it in Ganymede. They're not gonna make it on the moon anywhere else. You got to go to Ganymede. If it's something's gonna happen, if they're gonna choose who's gonna be on the Earth Council, they go to Ganymede, and they're gonna choose who's gonna be in the Earth Council. If, but not just for Earth. Yes, I'm talking about Earth because that's where we live, but for the entire solar system. People doesn't know Mercury. There's people living in Mercury. There is people living in our sun, the real sun. I want you to understand something. The sun, that the NASA says, well, you can't go to that place because you will melt and it's impossible. If you have the technology, you actually can go through that portal, what you see on the sun, and enter into the core of the sun, because the sun, in the inner sun, has cities. that sometimes people with good telescopes have pick up of buildings and everything in the sun, in our sun. And this is not the sun simulator that everybody talks about it, the real sun that we have in our solar system,
Well,
which is
Gina Marie Colvin Hill, she actually does a lot of videos, and she saw some. I watched her take some videos of some ships going, and they were actually. I don't know if they were refueling in the sun, but they were coming in and out of the sun. So I watched some of her real video of
right.
evidence of what you're talking about.
Yes, of course, because remember, the sun is fuel for ships. Some ships are solar uh, energy base. All galactic ships are technically organic. They all the ships have DNA, so they're technically alive. The ships are alive, and they're connected with whoever is the owner of the ship. So if you have a ship per se, they're going to take your DNA and they're going to build a ship connected to your DNA. So why did they do that? Because if you jump into the ship will record your consciousness. Everything that you are learning of you when you explore in a planet, it will be recorded on the ship. Also, each galactic being or symbiont being, uh, most of them, they have clones of themselves. They have a spare or a sleeve of a body, um, probably in symbiotic fluid or an animation on the ship. So if they get killed in a planet because they're exploring something, the ship automatically will retrieve your consciousness and your soul, and it will upload it into the next body. So you will technically wake up on the ship. See, this is the reason why I always tell people, I see you on the ship. If you die, you're gonna wake up on the ship. Why did I say that? Because 90% of the planet is not from here. So therefore, you have a spare of a body somewhere in the galaxy. If it's not on the ships, the motherships, they're here from the 12 original families, they're behind the moon. If it's not there, then that means from maybe, and if you're an Andromeda, maybe in Mirage. If you're a Sirius B, maybe in Wizen. If you were, a Pleiadian, maybe in Atlas and Maya on Asteroid. If you're, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can guarantee you, if you came from another galaxy and volunteer, I'm going to go and have fun in planet Earth and this free will planet, and I'm going to help as a starseed, and I'm going to hold the light and help these guys to move into the next dimension. They have a spare. So that's how they secure themselves. Not everybody has a spare in the galaxy. You have to be wealthy. You have to be very good at what you do. You have to have the technology. Not everybody has all the technology either. They do have the technology to interstellar traveling, maybe time traveling, all the stuff. But not everybody has that. Not everybody have that technology. Only a very high vibrational, sophisticated, or perhaps very wealthy or connected with loyalty being will have a spare body ship on the ship. I'm sorry.
What about Bozo? I mean Bezos.
I'm sorry.
What about Bozo? I mean Bezos. Jeff Bezos. He's.
Oh, well, he said he's in Ganymede, right? That he was going to Ganymede, and he's supposed to met some of the galactic beings that are going to be doing trading in planet Earth. It could be a possibility. It could be a possibility. I don't know anything about it. I don't resonate that much with that information. I asked the Galactics and they said, we don't know anything about that. So I don't know. I don't know who came up with that information. I sincerely don't know. I was listening to Alex Collier no long ago, and they asked him the same question, and he actually responded the same thing. He's like, "Don't know anything about it." you know, I don't know, brother. I don't know what's it gonna happen. Um, all that I can tell you is who is gonna represent the Earth when the Galactics arrive. Who is gonna be there? Who's gonna talk to them? Who is gonna be the link between humanity and the Galactics? Obviously, got to be someone that is probably on the high cosmic clearance, which is even higher than the president of the United States. It has to be someone that is very, very wise, somebody that is very benevolent. I hope so. That the benevolence with the alliance and the White Hats put someone that actually are it's worthy, so they can actually make good treatings, not bad treatings like we did it before. Because
I
otherwise,
volunteer.
hey, I volunteer too. Totally. I mean, come on. If the White Hats come and knock at your door and says, "Hey, Jesse, so wonder if you want to go to Ganymede for this weekend."
When do
What do
we
you
go?
think, brother? You want to go and meet with the Andromeda Consul? You think you will be like, "Hell yeah, I go!" Right? Of course.
Well, I would say heaven, yeah, but
Right? So, things like that. Then, in all this awakening that I'm having, um, several things happened in my life. Now, I did things that I was not very proud of. I didn't kill anybody, or I don't have a criminal record in my life. Or anything. If you're thinking, "Oh shit, what have he done?" No, 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 no. But I obviously we all made mistakes, and we did things that we're not very proud of. Especially me. Um, I was more, I'm in recovery and things like that. Let's just leave it like that. Um, and obviously the Galactics, when I was stuck in that Nexus event of my life, they stopped a little bit talking to me until the point they said, you know what, you better get better, or I guess the mission ends here. But I didn't know what my mission was until I started with Tales from the Ship. I thought that my mission was just to be me and just to anchor the light and be a good Samaritan and be a good person with others, which I always have, right? Being in recovery doesn't mean that you're a bad person. That means that you're just working on your own things. And just to remind people, addiction is not about drugs and alcohol, it's about yourself. It's about yourself. It's not about any choice up there that you make. I just want to throw it up there.
a lot of
Um,
people, it's just a lot for a lot of people. It's an escape. A lot of people are sad. A lot of people are confused. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people want to go home, and they're
yes,
stuck. They're
thank you.
stuck. They're stuck here, and so it's just
Yes,
easy to put yourself in the state of not feeling. You don't have to feel that pain. You don't have to feel that. So
yes,
that's what most addiction is about: is escape.
yes. You're absolutely right. And everything that you just said, I relate. And it's not an excuse of me saying that everything that you just mentioned was one of the triggers that did the things that I do. Um, but hey, listen, I'm brave enough to say it. I don't hide it because I feel very good about myself today. My energy is great. I don't have to hide it anymore. I'm actually use it as a wisdom to give somebody else an advice. They're actually in that problem. You can't advise a drug addict if you're not being one. You can't advise an alcoholic unless you're being one. You cannot teach a goalkeeper soccer if you're not being a goalkeeper. You can't. I'm sorry for the soccer coaches out there that are watching. They're saying, "What the hell?" They know what I'm talking about. You can be a soccer player on the field and be the best, but not everybody know how to coach a goalkeeper. Hell no. You got to be a goalkeeper to be able to coach. Of course. So I think the part of my mission was to be on that. I think that on my when I signed my contract, my soul contract, in this particular lifetime, I choose to go to that realm and to suffer and to experience everything that I experience for the reason, the only reason is to help others to get out of that burden, to help others, to understand others, and to move them into a higher vibrational state. That's the reason why I actually did what I did. And I can guarantee you, 90% of the times, 100% of the time, of all the brothers and sisters that we met, Jesse, everything they have done is because they sign up for that experience so they can learn how to advise others on that in any matter, in any life matter, in any soul matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, when someone is brave, then it helps other people to be brave as well. And that's kind of what the lead by example is that when you're not afraid, when you're brave, when you're willing to, like put yourself out there, then it helps others to be able to do the same thing. And then that helps because a lot of people are scared. A lot of people, they're afraid to, admit some things, and that keeps them even more stuck.
Right.
And then once they see other people being brave, it helps them to get unstuck and then move on and not stay in that, that twist where it doesn't
Right.
seem like your life goes nowhere.
Well, and the other thing is, we live in the devil's playground. Again, it's not an excuse, but addiction is Arconian. The Archons brought that program and put them on the planet.
Well,
You know,
they do it with everything. They're pumping
of
drugs
course,
into the food. They're
and they
pumping
mess
drugs into the water. They pump drugs into the air. They pump drugs into kids because
absolutely
they say they got ADHD. They put drugs into the
sugar,
milk, into the cows,
sugar
into the sugar is one of the worst drugs ever,
ever.
right? So,
Yes,
that's just part of what this, dimension is people to
right,
be able to, whether or not you can handle
right,
using these substances, or whether or not it takes you out of your own vibration and then you're stuck in it. And sometimes people,
exactly.
because of sadness, because of loneliness, because of fears, they get stuck. And it doesn't mean they're bad people, it's just they're stuck.
And not to minimize other star seeds, because we're all indigo children. We all indigo. Remember this. Not to minimize other star seeds, but not everybody has the light of the wanderers. The wanderers are very high vibrational beings, and they are the ones that get attacked the most. They try to get you somehow with drug. They put people around you so they can, offer you drugs when you were young. They put people around you so they can mistreat you, so they can beat you, so they can they put a stepmother or a bad father or an abusive. They put you in abusive families. They try to manipulate your lives somehow like that. So you actually, they try to minimize your power, your light, your love, because they know that you're so powerful and you can manifest for many others on the planet. So it's like that. It's like that. They try to manipulate your power, your energy. And when you don't know that this planet is actually a planet of consenting, not saying anything, is consenting. So if you don't say, I don't consent any physical, intergalactical, interdimensional, or spiritual attack on me, my family, my animals, you are consenting that they can actually do whatever they want with you. So you need to learn to use your mantras. You need to learn to not give your power away to them. You know, everything that you see on television is nothing but a program, because they don't have a souls. They cannot manifest realities. We have a soul. We can manifest realities. We're the indigo children from the Emerald Order. Most of us that we actually reincarnate on this planet, and that's another show. The whole thing about the Emerald Order. I will come and talk to you about it. That's a whole new show. And who are the Indigos and why is it we come back in here? Um, but all you need to know is this: we almost liberate this planet when Noah was alive and Enoch was alive. We got invaded by the Anunnaki's forces, and they actually create this illusion of a pull shift. The planet cannot pull shift because it's flat. Just letting you know, but they they did create all this a scenario that looked like a pull shift. They sink some parts of the planet and they bring the raised land and other parts of the planet. Our planet is not round. Just letting you know. It looks round from the top because they're actually putting the camera around the top so it looks round. Yes, the top of the planet is going to be round, but the depth of the planet is like cone form. We used to be planet Tiamat, and we collapsed with another planet. And because we collapsed with another planet, the the asteroid belt that we have in our solar system, that is the other half of the planet that it used to be. That's why we have the asteroid belt there. So all those asteroids that are spinning around our beautiful Milky Way, and they're going to continue spinning forever. It's because the entire Milky Way is in movement, and the space is water based. So it's just going to continue going like this. It's like a submarine. If you're on the submarine and you throw a bucket because you want to get rid of it, but you go in a certain speed, that bucket is going to catch the wave, the spiral wave that you're creating in the ocean. The bucket is going to go around and around and around the submarine. That's exactly what happened with the asteroid belt. The asteroid belt was our planet. So we live in half planet. Our planet is bigger than what you and I know. That just said from the North Pole to the South Pole. That's about it. And no, it's actually more land. More land.
Well, I saw a Buddhist text, Bible, I don't know, some kind of Buddhist scriptures. I think it was from the 1400s, and it showed the landmass on the other side of the South Pole, and that's why it's so heavily guarded, because they don't want people to know that there's land on the other side of the South Pole.
Yeah. Yeah, there is islands. Osiris Island is there. Nemo Island is there. Asgard, yeah. And this is nothing to do with Loki and Thor from the Avengers. It's actually there is a piece of land is named Oscar, but this is the reason why they actually come up with all these names. Um, the Vikings back in the day, they were descendants of the original Asgard area, and the outer ring on the outer ring is called this ice ring that we're actually the whole our planet Earth is actually surround what we know as a planet Earth is surrounded by this ice ring.
Ice wall, yeah.
The ice wall. Outside of that ice wall, there is more land. Way more land. There is another place. It's called No Man Land. That's how they call it. So yes, there's been some gatekeepers, very famous gatekeepers. Michael Bowie, the singer,
David Bowie.
the Venetian. He was a
David Bowie?
gatekeeper. He was a gatekeeper. Gate.
David Bowie.
Davy Bowie, I'm sorry. Davy Bowie was a gatekeeper for the ice wall. So he started and then they give him the opportunity to be, somebody famous inside of the ring. He become a artist, a singer, and all the stuff. He reincarnate. Again, he gets a spare body somewhere on the other side of the ice wall, and he reincarnated in the in the inside of the ring. So if we live inside of the ring, how do you call that? The inner space. If you live outside of the ring, that's outer space.
And then you're Lord of the Rings.
And then you're Lord of the Rings, right? There you go. Mr. Frodo, Mr. Frodo. I love you, Mr. Frodo.
Yes, Bilbo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I take consciousness very serious. Um, it's just my personality that a lot of people think that I don't take things serious. That some people are under that impression that I don't take things very serious. I actually is the opposite. I just smile because and try to have fun on this ride somehow.
You have to.
Hey, we all we all have our problems. We all are going through things. You know, if you see it, you can always see faces, but you don't know what is going through that people's heart. And I'm telling you, you have to find a way to enjoy yourself in this planet. A lot of us are graduating. A lot of us were here since 30 plus thousand years ago. So we're leaving. We live into the fifth dimension. We're moving with on the split with Earth, with Gaia. We're gonna be there for a while. Some of us they're probably going back to the Pleiades or Andromeda or Sirius B. Who knows? Or you know Orion. It doesn't matter where they're from. Some of us are gonna choose to stay in the fifth dimension. Some of us are gonna choose to go back home. Um, it is what it is. You know, just enjoy yourself. Be loving. Be kind. Be loving. Be a humanitarian. Try to help others. Um, right now, when I started with my show, Tales from the Ship, that's when I realized that my mission was to make people remember where they're from, because not everybody remember where they're from, and it was normal. We were 4 years ago. We still vibrated in the third dimension on organic 3D. We were in the reverse 3D at some point, but then we moved into the organic 3D. Um, so when we get to the organic 3D, our DNA start getting, you know, um,
Hijacked.
activated. Our 12th strand is coming back, which is the connection with the creator. And then you're going to start remembering everything. You're not going to need Andrés. You're just going to know that you're a Pleiadian. You're just going to know that you are, yeah. So I've been doing this star ancestor readings for a while. People have done readings with other um, people that actually have the same gift that I have. And they always say, Andres, you did a good job. It matches what the other people tell me, you know, stuff like that. So I gotta tell you, I didn't know what mission was until 2 years ago. This woman from Australia booked me, but she insists, no matter what, I need to see you. You need to send me the Zoom application. I need to see you face to face. And I usually don't do that. I just call them over the phone and I says, "Hey, let me do your reading. I'll tell you everything. I'm feeling. I'm picking up on your energy. I'm gonna look at your Akashic Records and yada yada, and then we go from there." That's what I do. But this woman said, "Andres, I really gotta see you on Zoom." So when I saw her, it was when I, once that she turned the camera on, I knew that she was not from Earth. That's the first thing. She got white hair. She got blue eyes, completely pale, beautiful. I asked her, "Sister, how old are you?" And she said, 50 some years old. She looked like 21. I'm being honest. I knew she was a galactic, extraterrestrial. And then I said, I got quiet myself. And I said, "Well, you know you're a Pleiadian, right?" And she smiled to me and she said, "Yeah." And I said, "You know that you're from Maya, Pleiades, right?" And she said, yeah. And I said, did any of the commanders from the Pleiadian empires send you? And she said, yeah. And then I said, did I did something wrong? That's the first thing that came into my head. I was like, did I did something wrong? And she said, no, Andres. Um, Jesse, that was my Pleiadian mother.
Wow.
They came over to see me, but she could not tell me that she was my mother because there is galactic codes. There is some rules and regulation. They can come and see you, but they cannot tell you straight up, hey, you're my son.
Well, there's certain things they can and can't
They
tell you.
can, they cannot. There are rules. There are rules, especially when you are actually visiting a three-dimensional planet. We were. This was 2 years ago. We were coming. We're still in 3D. So right now we're in the fourth dimension. So we're stepping on the fourth dimension. It's a different game. It's a different ball game. But that was my mom. I gotta tell you, and I knew it on my heart. I didn't say anything. And then when I said that I did something wrong, she said to me, "No, Andres, you're not doing something wrong. You're helping people to actually shift the reality. You're helping them to understand the life in this planet is, it's there is more out there.
It's just
There,
temporary.
you are making them understand that there are multidimensional beings coexisting in multidimensional universes. You make them understand as well the their star families. There's some things that you're accurate, some things you might not be accurate, but hey, you know what? You're doing your job. You're doing a great job. So I start tearing. And she said, I got a gift for you. And I said, okay. Well, this woman start singing on Pleiadian language. It was nothing from this planet, and it was a children's song. And once you start singing that song, brother, I bust in tears because I knew this is my mom, and I knew that was something. It's getting me right now, you know. It's getting me because just to remember, um, when she starts singing on me, I say, I know that song, and she said, yeah, I heard this song when I was a kid, and she said, yeah, but not on planet Earth, and she said, exactly, and just the way I'm crying right now, I was actually worse. I was like bowling. Um, that was my Pleiadian mom. Um, True story though. Um, yeah. So we have a conversation for a little bit. Um, the Malachi, I always cry. Sorry.
It's
So
okay. Virtual hug there, brother.
thank you. I love you, bro. It happens. It did happen. Um, so she came over. It was real. I saw it with my own eyes. It was like nobody told me this. Um, and I was not asleep. It's not that I have a dream that said, well, maybe your subconscious, Andres, was playing games on you. Since you're saying you're a Pleiadian, you just make this up. No,
She booked me.
she booked me and she put me on Zoom. And she said that she was in Australia. Who knows? Maybe she was standing right next door
Or some other galaxy.
or in some other galaxy. Yes, thank you. Um, Jesse, when you said that, I got a big yes. She was not even on planet Earth.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
She was exactly. She was in another galaxy. She was actually in the Pleiades. It was just incredible. an incredible experience. The Galactics, there is ships outside of my house pretty much every day.
How many ships are out there right now, do you think?
Brother,
Because
thousands, millions, and apparently more to come, more from other quadrants, from other galaxies. Remember, we're on the Tigris quadrant. We're moving from the Tigris quadrant into, oh my God, I can't even remember the other galaxy. Hold on, let me see if I can find the picture here. But technically, we are moving. Um, Remember, the planet doesn't spin. It's the whole Milky Way that is actually traveling in the galaxy. We're moving counterclockwise movement in the entire galaxy. So see, this is the deal. If Jupiter is a 10-dimensional planet because we're moving to another broadband, another dimension, it's going to be an 11 dimension now. We're 3, we got to jump to 5 because we skip one ascension. When Enoch was here and we got invaded, we supposed to move from 3 to 4, but we got invaded and they stopped it with the flood. So we couldn't ascend. So now we have to skip 4. We got to jump to 5. So we're supposed to be in a 4th dimension. So now we're skipping 4. We're moving to 5. Some souls are going to go into a 4th-dimensional planet, smaller, not in Gaia, not in Terra, in another planet, and they're going to actually teach them how to raise their vibration so they actually move with us into the 5th dimension, or whoever is going to the 5th.
do you think that they're spraying to hide all the ships that are out there? Because they keep on spraying and they keep on spraying, but I'm not feeling any of the negative effects of the spraying and stuff. So, I keep thinking that, what they're spraying is actually kind of harming us. There's some people saying the nanobots and, all this kind of stuff, but I don't feel that's coming from out there. I just, for some reason, I don't like them spraying, but I don't feel that it's really causing that negative an impact on everyone.
Yeah, well, graphene oxidant is what they're supposed to be spraying, but I don't know if they're still spraying it today. I sincerely don't know. I think that sometimes they just spray because they don't want you to see that we're passing by other planets. Since we're moving, we're coming across, we're actually interacting on other solar systems.
What about this thing that's supposed to come? What about this
The Great Reef of
asteroid?
Galaxion. Thank you, happy girl.
The
We're moving
asteroid.
into the Great Reef of Galaxion. Yes. Thank you so much. We're crossing the galactic plane. The galactic plane is technically the protonic bell or energy of the creator from the central sun. We're actually crossing it right now. So you were saying, brother?
What about the asteroid that's supposed to come December 10th? They sent something to destroy the asteroid. It's supposed to come and hit Earth or something. Some big asteroid on
It's
December
not.
10th.
It's not. It's not. Is it gonna hit the planet? Let me ask the Galactus. No, let me ask Source. No, it's not gonna hit the planet. Don't worry about that. None of that is gonna happen.
We are protected.
We're protected by high vibrational beings, by the light. The reason why we are like direct connection with the creator more than anybody else is because everything that we suffer, you understand? So the creator is not going to allow any of that stuff. We're not going to have nuclear war. We're not going to have a nuclear bomb dropping somewhere. None of that is going to happen. The dark can always try to put that in your subconscious so you can manifest that reality for them. So that's why when you watch whatever CNN, Fox, and you can watch the news, and you can always say, "Hey, I'm just watching for the sake of acknowledgement, but I'm not watching for the sake um of manifesting that reality. I'm not going to manifest that reality. I'm just
I
going to
s-
watch for the acknowledgement
and
of what's
entertainment
happening.
of the clown show.
That's it. So when I watch the shows, I love Tucker Carlson and all those guys, and I love to watch them here and there. Of course, I love movies because I can relate. I've been in so many ascensions and galaxies, and sort of you, and so most of us, that when I see a sci-fi movie from space, of course I feel attracted to it because that's where they used to be. And I know if I close my eyes right now, I'm going to be there in the ship. I wake up in the ship. I'll tell you another story quickly. This is amazing. A sister of mine passed away from Puerto Rico, used to live in the Bronx, New York. She got cancer. She used to watch Tales from the Ship all the time. This was 3 years ago. She was a mantis from Mars. That was her star family. I did a star family reading for her, and I said, "You're a mantis." She started crying. And I said, "Why are you crying?" "Because the mantis came to see me, and I did saw them. So by you telling me that you're a mantis, that's actually, it resonates with me.
Confirmation.
That's a confirmation." So the mantis used to go and see her in New York. So she passed away in a hotel. I'm sorry, she was in the hospital. Her daughter, she's a Navy SEAL, something like that. She was not in New York, so nobody from her family was in the hospital. She called me in the morning. She said, "Andres, I'm afraid because I'm leaving. I'm moving. I'm unplugging myself from this reality. I'm gonna leave now." And I said, and she was terrified. And I said, "Sister, you don't have to be terrified. You know what's gonna happen when you close your eyes? You're gonna wake up in the ship." And she said to me, "Andres, are you sure that I'm gonna wake up in the ship?" And I said, "Sister, I love you, with tears in my eyes and everything, because I know that she was dying." And I said, "Look, I love you very much. I can promise you're gonna wake up in the ship." I say, "Okay." I Then I'm not afraid anymore. She called me at 10 a.m. By 1 o'clock, she already passed away. I didn't know that. I didn't find out that there was nobody else in the room. By the way, I said to my sister, "Look, we're gonna make a deal. If you close your eyes and you wake up in the ship, would you do me a favor and let me know that you actually did wake up in the ship?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." This is a true story. And I can bring you her daughter to tell you this story too. Um, I 2 weeks passed by, and there is a medium from Boston that called me, and she said, "Hey, are you Andres from Tales from the Ship?" And I said, "Yes." "Well, do you remember this person?" I don't want to say the name because of her family.
Anonymity. Yeah.
"Do you remember your sister from the Bronx?" And I said, "Yes." "Did you knew her?" And she said, "No, I never knew her, but I speak with the dead, and they come to see me, and she's been bugging me to talk to Andres ship." And I didn't know until I was scrolling on Facebook, and I saw Andres with Tales from the Ship. So it's got to be you. And I said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, your sister wanted to tell you that you were right. I'm
That's
telling you
amazing.
this. Listen, for all my star brothers, all the star seeds that are out there, ask your heart what I'm telling you, is it true, or I'm lying? Ask your higher self and see what they said.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So she did tell me, she found a way to tell me that, "Hey, by the way, I did wake up on the ship. Thank you."
That's so
So
awesome.
that is awesome. We have families, brothers, in the Pleiades. We have, or in any other star systems that you're out there, we have family. We have brothers and sisters that actually reincarnate with us. Here, there is people actually. I have connect people from America. I connect one woman one time from America and Portugal that were cosmic sisters from the same. They were from Andromeda, from the Andromeda constellation. They were Andromedans, both of them, from the same family. They came here and reincarnate together, and I connect them. So today they see each other as a sisters. It's amazing. I mean, there is a lot of stories I can tell you. I'm actually putting together a book because I think not putting it in a book it will be very unfair. It's actually an hour and 11 minutes and 11 seconds right now. 11, 11, 11. We, my brother and I, request the most benevolent timeline for all our brothers and our sisters in this beautiful planet. We request the most benevolent ascension for every single one of you that is watching this show, for all your brothers, for all your sisters, for the animal kingdom as well. We request peace, love. Um, we request peace, love, justice, compassion, and a lot of evidence that you are nothing but a loving being that is here to anchor the light and to move into the fifth dimension with every single one of us. And so it is, and so is done. Thank you, dear Creator of the universe.
Amen.
Amen. That was 11, 11, 11. You saw that, right?
Yeah, and 11 people.
And 11 people. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it was all 11s, all 11s.
Welcome to Frequency 11. Frequency 11, the Frequency 11, the broadband Frequency 11 that came from Ganymede, speaking of Ganymede, from Mission Control, it started actually, they kicked that broadband, the awakening, and it started actually bombarding with DNA activations for all human beings after September 11.
Wow.
September 11, that's when the galactics came down from Ganymede and massive, and it start bombarding everybody to awake and to activate every single one of us. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. So, what's happening right now on Earth here that people should be aware of? Because a lot of everybody knows what's going on. Some people are still kind of confused. Some people are still trying to figure out with people dropping everywhere. People still getting injected. They're starting to inject kids. They're
Well, the mandates are going to be completely eradicated this month. As a matter of fact, it's already stopped in the United States because the judicial system, the government is getting sued left and right. So mandates are going to be no more apply. They're not. They cannot apply more mandates. At least in the United States, they can because everybody. So this is the thing. Thank God the Americans like to sue. They like to sue you for everything.
and
Thank God.
millions, hundreds of
Yeah,
millions,
baby. Yeah, that's
billions of
American way.
dollars.
You know what? I'm glad that they're doing that. I'm glad that we've been raised like that. You know why? Because that way you can look in your constitution that was created for the people, by the people, to the people. And because of that constitution, nobody can actually mandate what it goes into your body. No one. No one can actually do that. And there is actually rules and regulations on this planet that you can go back and read the prevent. Let's talk about
The Geneva Code.
Western medicine. Any medicine there is out there, any new medicine should not be applied into any symbiont being in this planet without their consent.
And without the proper trials, without the proper long-term study
Thank
data,
you.
that's why it usually takes anywhere from 7 to 10 years for them to be able to effectively be able to put something into the
Right.
masses, because they need to know what the long-term studies, and even 10 years is sometimes not even enough long-term studies of what anything new that they're trying to introduce into the population.
Correct. And you know better than anybody else when it comes to the Jabba Dabba Doo, everything that has been happening. Media is not, they're not actually broadcasting. Millions of people in Melbourne, Australia, millions of people in France, millions of people in UK, millions of people all over the planet are raising up against this tyranny. Ladies and gentlemen, more than half of the planet is not vaccinated. Let me just let, yeah, you heard that right. More than half of the planet is not vaccinated.
Totally. And Linda says here, terror by Janine among many, seeing this all ending very soon, sees us traveling freely by early 2022. And then Lupita says spring 22, there will be great changes.
Well, the great changes start already in this month. And the new, okay, the things that you need to know by January, February tops, the new quantum financial system will occur, which means we're officially, Jazara and Nazara already secretly kickstart. Now, why is that I know that Jazara and Nazara already kickstart? For a lot of reasons. If you have children in the United States, you're getting a check from the government. That's Jazara. They have to do something because they were already stipulated by the Galactics. You need to run this now. So the Galactics are putting pressure on the government, even on the shadow government that we have. Whatever darkness is in here, because I understand the Alliance and the White Hats are in charge behind scenes, so the government they can still do some shitty shit here and there, of course, but
What I heard was that since the beginning of this all started, there's a bunch of military that are inside of a mountain or a base or something, and they haven't came out, and those are the ones that are actually kind of running things, but they're hidden inside, or they're inside of some kind of a base, underground or inside, where they're the ones, and they haven't came out since the beginning of, for the last 2 years almost now, and those are the ones who are actually kind of controlling what's going on right now, from what I hear.
and it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Uh, New quantum financial system is coming. Why did I know this? I have friends. They're in the bank. They're bankers, and they all learned in the new quantum system. They told me straight up. I met with them a couple of weeks ago. Say, Andres, what you're saying about the reset, it's coming, it's true. What you say about the quantum financial system, it's actually real. We already learning the new quantum financial system. So we're gonna have only one worldwide, um, one currency. No more dollar, no more peso, no more yen, no more. It's just gonna be one currency. I think they're debating between calling them units or something else. I understand on the galactic level, that's why they have told me 3 years, 4 years ago that they will call them units. Um,
Not coins.
cryptocurrency is going to kick in. So if you have crypto, if you invest in crypto, it's probably going to multiply. By January, February tops. Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Bitcoin is going to turn into XRP. That's what I understand. So the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was created by the Chinese, by the cabal. So it has to be, they have to cut the cabal off. So Bitcoin, they're just going to move it. and put them on the XRP. So if you have 100 XRPs times $50,000, that's how much you have.
So what should I do with my $600 of Bitcoin right now? You think I should buy more XRP?
But brother, you gotta keep an eye on you got to keep an eye on the financial system. You got to keep an eye on the crypto, what's going on this up and down. Because look, I got XRP, I got XLM, I got other things that I invest, Dodge and other things that I invest, and it's been a roller coaster. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's gonna be like that until really, really the financial system kick in. Once the financial system kick in, then you're gonna have RVs or an exchange for all the currency that you might have. They're gonna have to exchange your currency if you have currency from other countries. Um, if you have Zimbabwe, if you have pesos, if you have bolivares, if you have whatever currency that you have, they're gonna have to exchange it for the new unit financial system. The dollar, everything we have to exchange. So if you have $20,000 in the bank, how much that is going to translate into units? I don't know yet. It could be the double, it could be the triple, it could be the 4 or 5 times. That is the reason why we have that's the reason why they call it the golden age, because it's going to be a lot of wealth everywhere. And the new currency is going to be gold. The new currency is going to be copper. The new currency is going to be silver. Um, we're going back into the republic, like when Abraham Lincoln was the president of the United States. Our financial system was backed up by the gold standard. So that's where we're going with this. That's one of the things that you need to know. The other thing you need to know, ladies and gentlemen, there will, at some point, the dark desperately fake an alien invasion. So they're going to try to tell you, by the way, aliens are coming, and they're coming to kill you. It's completely the opposite. Okay? As a matter of fact, I don't even know if they're going to actually roll that out. I'm getting a big no. It's not going to happen. So that means forget what I said. Okay? Because they're saying, no, it's not going to happen. We're not going to allow it. They're just saying it to me. So, yeah.
Well, if on a good news, if that XRP, like you said, goes to 50,000, that means I'll have 95 million.
Good for you. Then you can buy an island and take me to live with you, brother.
100%. Y'all can come. There'll be place for everybody.
Of course, you just give me a little shack in the top of the mountains on that island, and I'll be more than happy to go and fish for everybody.
Earth homes. We're going to build the earth homes where you can live inside the earth, and there'll be homes everywhere for everybody.
There will be homes everywhere for everybody, yes. Unfortunately, a lot of people will disappear. There will be a split of realities as people that cannot hold the vibration or the broadband of the fifth dimension, which means it's a heavier part of the galaxy. There is more heat in the space that we're going, so it's heavier. Yeah, so their operating systems, their bodies will not be able to hold that vibration. Unfortunately, going to end up leaving the planet or dying, in other words. But then they're going to join us in the fifth dimension. So not because you die because you couldn't move with your physical body, that means that you actually now moving to the fifth dimension. You're still moving to the fifth dimension, but now with that body, you're moving with your etheric body, with your soul. And then once you're in the fifth dimension, you can actually manifest your own physicality.
Happy Girl here asks about what happens to silver?
Silver is gonna be very valuable, incredibly.
That's what I hear.
Buy silver.
Silver's going to be more valuable than gold.
Yes. Well, as close as gold. Yes.
Well,
copper,
I hear silver is going to be like that's because
silver, and
they're using
copper.
silver for so much things, computer chips, everything. So
Everything.
silver is gonna actually skyrocket, and there is actually abundance of gold. So once they release the gold, then the gold is not going to be as valuable as it is that they have scarcity on the gold right now.
Right. Exactly. You're right, my brother. You're right. What else? You will. I seen this as a future, like a prophecy thing that I saw in my head. I seen it several times. Thousands of ships in the sky, but as a celebration of our liberation, not as an oppression. Thousands of ships in the sky, following and taking you to the new earth and to the new frequency earth, which is the fifth dimension, the new broadband. Um, that's technically it. When that happened, then you knew that's going to be like the rapture scenario that everybody's looking for. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are protected. You are protected. The fear, don't fall into the fear agenda. Remember what Jonah used to say. What Jonah used to say: fear take you to um, desperation, and desperation take you to this. And I love Jonah because he's very wise. But technically, what he was saying is, you should not live in fear. Know that you are protected. Know that everything is going to be okay. Request the most benevolent timeline for everybody on this planet, just like the way that we pray, my brother and I, not long ago. Pray, 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 because we can manifest things. If we say it, it's going to manifest it. So manifest it. Be a manifestator. That's how you can help. A lot of people ask me, Jesse, Andres, how can I help? I'm a star seed. I'm a Pleiadian or an Arcturian or whatever is my star family. But how can I help? Start helping by saying, by thinking, saying, and manifesting a better planet. Request the most benevolent timeline for everybody. Request the most benevolent ascension. Request the most benevolent outcome for planet Earth. Request justice, love, request compassion and evidence for the planet. Request it, request it, request it. Since you say it every day, you're going to manifest that reality.
And
It takes
here's
one person to manifest a reality in a planet. Can you imagine if with thousands of us start requesting the same thing? There is,
power,
it's,
powerful.
it's powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, the light already won. It's victory of the light.
And what Andreas was saying about the quote from Yoda, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Very powerful words. And that's what they want. They feed on your lush, on your pain, on your fear, on your, all these old programs. They're not going to exist anymore longer on planet Earth. Forever. It's going to be eradicated forever. Planet Terra or Gaia, or Nova Gaia, the fifth dimensional Gaia is called Nova Gaia, will never host tyranny, pain, horror. Everything is going to be eradicated. Everything will be eradicated. So we're going to live. We're going to live on heaven on earth.
It's what I've dreamed of.
Brother, it's coming. It's coming. We're gonna interstellar. We're gonna travel interstellarly. We're gonna be able to go to Mars. We're gonna be able to go to the moon. Moon is gonna be actually a museum. No, it's for sure. I'm telling you the truth. The Galactics told me this. The moon is gonna be a museum. They're gonna have tours. You're gonna go to the moon, and then you're gonna get there, and they're gonna say, by the way, just to let you know, by the way,
we lost the technology on how to get back, so you're technically stuck here.
The propulsion technology, we have anti-gravitational ships already on planet Earth, but not everybody gonna have that technology, right? At some point, we will have it, but not everybody will have it immediately. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create this elevator connected from Earth to the moon. You will travel from here to the moon, and you will be there in half an hour. In this elevator, picture this in your head.
I see
Imagine
it.
an elevator connected, our moon connected with a tube all the way to the ground. So I already seen it since I was on the ship. They allow me to see this. So from the moon, they put this cable all the way down. It's not a cable. It's a massive structure. Since the planet is not spinning, like I told you, it's static. It's static. It doesn't move. It's not a problem. You can create a Babel tower to go all the way to the moon, and then put technically an elevator so you can go to the moon. And when you get to the moon, then you can actually enter into another ship to go to Jupiter in exchange for goods, to go to Mars, to go to this. This is how we're going to do it in the near future. And I'm telling you, 10, 20 years from now.
Well, I've had someone that have told me that, currently there's people that are traveling through different, places, and they go put on their suit and tie, they kiss their wife, they say, I'm going to the office, they drive into some place, they're transporting in Mars for, and they're there for, someone told me this, I don't know, last year or the year before, that this is already this is already going on, where people are being transported. But what Andreas is talking about, this is going to be happening for the masses, that
for the masses.
Yeah.
If you wanted to interest in traveling interstellarly, you're going to have to go to this space base, which is the moon.
I love that space base.
A space base, which is the moon, which is going to be the moon. Inner moon is going to be like a museum, but the rest is going to be like a place where you can just go there and says, where you want to go? You want to go to Ganymede? Oh, we have a ship leaving in 5 minutes. You pay your ticket, you go. This is how it's going to be. I already saw it, ladies and gentlemen. I saw this in the beautiful Aurora on the Pleiadian ship. And ladies and gentlemen, you think that I'm special, that I can see this? There's nothing special about me. There's thousands of people in the planet that are seeing and they're talking with galactics. Don't let anybody to tell you, oh, you're not good enough to talk to the galactics. Only the elite, only the ones that we write books, and only the ones that we actually have our own shows and YouTube are the ones that we're talking with the galactics. No, there's thousands of people talking with the galactics. Every single freaking day.
Everybody has the ability. It's
Yes,
just a
yes,
matter
sir.
of being able to quiet the mind. Meditation is key. Start listening to the vibrations, the frequency, and then you can start receiving messages. The people that are receiving messages are the ones that are able to use those skills and are able to do that. Whether they got woken up because it was mandatory that some people spread this message, it's just a matter of you being able to tap into the energy and the frequency and the vibrations that's around us.
Galactics have been speaking with a lot of their own. I'm talking about star families. The Andromedans have been speaking with their own. The Arcturians have been trying to connect with their own. The Proclonians have been trying to connect with their own. The Pleiadians, the Lyrans, the Syrians. I mean, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your galactic birthright as a symbiont galactic being of the universe. You should connect with yourself, with your star family, and the only reason why you haven't connected with your galactic family is because you don't know how. But if you don't know how, then get a hold of me. I help you. No big deal. I'll tell you how to do it. You don't
You
have to
can't.
have an insert. You don't have to have a device on you. All you need is just a simple. You have to protect your communication. You have to shield your communication when you are with the galactics. You got to be talking with the right beings. You got to make sure you are actually not channeling, but you can always channel, which a lot of people say that channeling is bad. Not necessarily, it's bad. If you don't know what you're doing, it could be dangerous, yes, but that doesn't mean it's bad, right? So communicating with the galactics, everybody can do it. You just got you just need to know the right steps and how do you protect your mind, and your body field from an external extraterrestrials, malevolent forces. That's it.
Lupita's saying some people have multiple galactic families.
Absolutely. I'm a mix. I'm a Pleiadian Syrian mix. And before that, I was a Lyran. And before that, I was in the Orion constellation. And before that, I was in I was in the what is Alpha Centauri. And
So are
before that, I was in another squadron that is not even in this galaxy. Yes.
so are you connecting then with all the different, families, or are you just specifically when you're talking to certain ones?
I only talk to the ones that are on Ganymede, which is mission control. Um, I, the only one that I just talked to right now is the Galactus, the Syrian consul. I have talked to everybody. I have talked to the when I say Galactus, everybody in general. With Lyrans, I have talked to the Andromeda consul. I have talked to the Pleiadians with the Arcturians, and I have talked to the Syrians. It depends because in mission control, not everybody, not every day is the same family, star family in charge of the communication center. They have a communication center. They can actually answer questions for all the ground forces in planet Earth. So one day could be the Andromedans, another day could be the Pleiadians, another day could be the Lyrans, another day could be, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So I have talked to all of them, and everybody's different. When you ask them for a certain person that says, "Hey, can you help me and look at this person's Akashic records?" For instance, I'm talking to the Lyrans. The Lyrans are very, very serious. When and the Syrians as well. When I talk to the Pleiadians, they can be funny too. They can laugh with you. Everybody has different personalities. Venetians too, Martians, Proclonians. It depends. Umos. I have talked to the Umos. I mean, it depends. Yes.
Which ones are purple?
Purple Andromedans. A lot of them are purple colored. Yeah. Andromeda has every single color of the rainbow. It looks like Guardians of the Galaxy big movie.
The rainbow of the galaxy.
Yeah, the rainbow of the galaxy. They have every single color. Um, Andromedan women are very, very beautiful. Gotta say, they have red skin, blue skin, yellow skin, pink skin. I mean, they're very, very gorgeous. Um,
Angeline asked, which ones are teal?
what is teal? Excuse me.
It's like a blue, like an aqua blue.
Oh, that is the Syrian Empire, either for Series A or Series B. It depends. And other ones, there's more. They're blue. See, all there is not a specific color for a specific race. Everybody has every single color up there. A lot of people think the Pleiadians are blue eyes, blonde. They look like Vince Neil. No, long hair and oh yeah, they look like a Brad Pitt. All of them. No, they are reptilian Pleiadians. They are Syrian Pleiadians. They are water being Pleiadians. There are Pleiadians have every single being, sentient being that you can actually imagine up there.
Is there any space racism?
No, but there is there is races in the universe that like to have slaves. They like to create slavery, like the
Like
ones that we had here for a long time.
like the dark grays or whatever? There's some
The,
out there.
yes, some Cetas, some alpha draconians, some grays, um, the Archons, the Anunnakis. Everybody is from the Orion constellation. Orion constellation is they have some benevolent. I want you to understand there is some benevolent reptilians up there, not just malevolent, but Orion constellation hold most of the dark empires live in that area. Percent. All the Barities, most of them are from the Orion constellation. Yeah,
Which ones feed on humans?
the Orion constellation. Most of them. There might be others up there. Mention all of them. It will be very difficult for me, but the quick answer: Orion constellation. Yeah.
And is there still lots of the war going on up there, or between these, or is things pretty calm?
The Orion Wars are already done. Um, Orion Wars unfortunately took ions or eons to complete and to be done. Um, I guess the entire galaxy, and I'm talking about all quadrants, learned from that war and I understand the dark artificial intelligence is very dangerous. Um, it's better genetically modify yourself on the organic way. They actually put a microchip into your body because you run the risk that that microchip or that piece of equipment or electronics or nanotechnology that you might put in your body might actually turn against you by a dark Asian artificial intelligence that like to somehow possess anything that is organic and and artificial that has unity. So if you have a chip that goes into your consciousness, the AI might actually tap into that and possess your avatar. That's what happened in the Ryan Wars, by the way. All this AI got possessed. Droids. It started with droids, and the droids started evolving and creating these organic droids. Just like remember Galactica? Remember how they started with the Centurions? They were like big boats, and then that's how they started, and then they end up with flesh and bones. There were droids. They didn't have soul, but they have a reincarnation ship.
Hmm.
So when they die, they used to wake up in the ship.
So
Same thing what I'm talking about right here. But
do
yeah,
do you age up there?
if you're a droid, if you are a cyborg, no, I don't think you're gonna age. You're just gonna continue being you. It's just the only thing is, if you lose a part of your body, you can replace it, or you have another spare or body somewhere.
How long can people live once you're up there?
Oh, in space in
Yeah,
general.
yeah.
Okay, the organic um, lifespan, for instance, Pleiadians is between 600 and to the 1,000 years. This is in the Pleiades, and then in other galaxies is more, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000 years. But they have the technology to that actually can enlarge, stretch that.
Reverse aging?
Say it again.
Can they reverse the aging?
Oh, absolutely. They have medveds, better than medveds, no question. Yeah. we will have med beds, but I don't know how long it's going to take that technology for us to get a hold of it. I think that once that we have our space based commands and we can actually so we can actually travel interstellarly, then the med beds will be in planet Earth. We will have some med beds that will cure certain things, but no, will they won't reverse age and they will grow limbs. Not yet.
Well, we just had Sasha Stone for our 100th interview, and he was in Romania with some military generals, and they
Mm.
showed him some of the medbed technology that scans the beds, and he was talking about regrowing teeth and regrowing limbs. Like
Oh, so maybe
this is already maybe starting to
okay.
happen here.
So maybe I was under the impression that yes, we're gonna have some med beds that will help with the lymphatic systems and the organs and stuff like that. But the regrowing of the limbs and stuff like that, I was under the impression that they're gonna try to hold that technology from us just for controlling us. Um, but if it's already ready to go, I'm more than happy. That's a big news. Some
Mhm.
big news.
I know he said teeth. I'm not sure if I remember the limbs, but I remember he said that they can regrow teeth, and then I think he said I do interview so much. I got so much stuff in my head, but I know that there's got some really good technology that's going to soon be coming out, and he's going to have a place in Mexico, where they're just working on some land, and they're going to have the med bed there. So he invited us out there to be able to to try this, because I could definitely use it on my cartilage on my hip joints.
Oh, I brother, I will love to get a hold of one of those so they can actually take all the muscle and rest that I have in my tummy and going back to be the wonderful, incredibly handsome fella that I used to be back in the day in Mexico.
Don't they already have those little electric things that you can put on the abs, and then you just sitting there on your computer, and then it just
Oh,
works
baby
works
brother,
works out
I try
works out.
everything. Listen. To be honest with me, if I want to lose weight, I have to run. I always been a runner. People know that I used to be place. I used to play soccer professionally back in the day in Mexico. I was a goalkeeper, so I was very fit. Um, so I gotta tell you, the only way that I can lose weight is by running. I I run a marathon 5 10 years like no like 5 years ago, and I went from 42 to 22, like super skinny. I was ready to go to the runways again in New York and start fashioning, modeling, and I was ready to go. I was ready to go. I'm so skinny right now. I can do that. Which I have done that too in Mexico City back in the day. But I'll tell you, I love to get a hold of one of those. I'm telling you right here, right now, if my crypto kicks the way that yours is gonna kicks, then the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy 10 of those and just put it for the benefit of all humanity. Everybody can come and use it for free. I'm not even gonna charge anybody. It's not a joke.
You just have a website,
You
book
can
a book
take
an
you can
appointment.
take my
You
word
book an appointment for
and
one
you
of the
can use
beds.
this video as a leverage. And if I ever become rich, and if I'm not helping people with the betterments, you can use this video. It says, Andres, remember what you said? I have the video. You better buy those betterments. You better put it in for the servant of humanity. Of course I will.
And not
Absolutely.
if, it's when.
Soon, in a year from now, you and I, brother, we're buying back to back islands.
Yeah, I would just need a nice island. I just, that's where I see myself in the tropics, and I would like to be on
Back
our
to back
own
islands.
our own little space where we don't have, this, anybody trying to tell us what we can do on our own little land.
Exactly. By the way, if you live in the ocean, you got to pay attention to the ocean lately because there is a lot of low vibrational beings. No, no low vibrational, high vibration. The inner earth mermaids, inner earth are coming out. Why they're coming out into the surface now? There are more people and more people that will start seeing more mermaids. Mermaids are real. I seen one in Isla Mujeres in Cancun. I seen one. It was like, what is it? This big. It was small, but she came on the boat and had little hands and they had the eyes and look at me and then went in the water. But I'll tell you, true story. I swear my mother. Um, but I'll tell you, more and more inner earth. We're gonna connect with the inner earth. We're gonna have tours to the inner earth. We're gonna be able to visit Shangri-La, Shambhala, what is the Agartha, all the cities. We're gonna be able to be there and connect with our brothers and sisters that have been there since Atlantis. Um, there is a city below the Mount Shasta as well. Okay, everybody knows that there is entrance of ships in there and on the mountain. Um, so fairies are all this stuff. We've been told when you and I were kids there was nothing by fantasy. It's actually real. So you're gonna start seeing mermaids because mermaids were in another vibration. Since we were three-dimensional planet, they didn't come up on the surface. But now we're on the four. We're about to go to five. These are 4, 5, 6 dimensional beings. They're going to start coming out on the surface. So you're going to start seeing them. You're going to start seeing more and more things. Yes.
Very cool. So, what else? Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
No, brother. I just wanted to invite everybody to come over to the 144club.org, www 144club.org. There you can just enroll as a member and enjoy the website. I have a free version, and then I have a VIP version where you can become a VIP member. There is a monthly. It's a monthly fee. It's very it's significant. It's like $7 a month. But for those $7 a month, you get Zoom videos, tales from the ship, uncensored, face to face with me and with other people. Clinics. I already have like 4 or 5 clinics already posted there that people can go and take and learn things. Candlemancy, shaman circles, star families. I got what is the other one that I have? Ooh, Oh, collapsing negative timelines. Those are clinics, and best $7 you ever pay. At least try it 1 month and go and take all the clinics. And if you love it, because every week I'm gonna have 2 clinics coming every week, every week. In fact, I'm gonna have you there teaching runes or something else. I mean, you and I have not talked about it yet, but I know that you agreed to be a instructor in the 144 Club. So I invite everybody to come over. Sure, I'm gonna still doing live feeds on Facebook and YouTube as well, Rumble. But those private broadcasts it's only for VIP members. Just wanted to tell you that. I have real pictures of Ganymede with ships in it that I'm gonna present this Saturday. So if you've never seen Ganymede ever, join the club.
So that's for the VIP members that are going to
That's
be
for
able
the
to see
VIP
that. So
members.
$7, because $7 you can try it out for a month.
Yeah,
You'll be able to see the pictures of
the
Ganymede, and
pictures
if you
of the
find
show.
value, if you
You
find
gotta be
value,
able. You will be able to be on the show. You're gonna be on the show, and I'm gonna present Tales from the Ship uncensored, so we can talk about the Jabadoo the way that we're supposed to, with no interruptions. Nobody's gonna be there to tell me you can't say that word, stuff like that. So yeah, and new intel from the Galactics, questions. I connect with the Galactics. People ask me questions, and I respond according to the Galactics, whatever they wanted to tell them. So just the fact that you can actually ask an extraterrestrial a question and you know that they're going to answer you, it worth the $7.
And it only costs $7 for 1 month, and if you find value of it, then you can keep going. If not, if you don't, if that's not for you,
You
then
can
it's only
cancel it. Yeah,
only $7, right? It's
yeah,
not. It's
777, seven
yes,
dollars and 77 cents. It's
nice.
just because the numerology, yeah, 777 is a good number for me. I like it. If you want, you can pay for the entire year. If you pay for the entire year, which is 90 plus 92 years, $92, $95, then I can actually give you a genius biofeedback scan frequency. I can send you one. I gotta tell you, if you purchase one frequency from me or from any practitioner of the Genius biofeedback, it costs $70 one session. So for $90, you can be a 1 year VIP member, take all the clinics that you want, and watch Tales from the Ship for free on sensor for the entire year. It's a gift. It's a gift.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
It is a good deal because by you helping me, I'm helping, so I can pay other speakers like you or instructors stuff that can come and I want to help them too. I want to help my brothers, of course. It's not just Andres. I'm sharing my money with people, no problem. All right.
Awesome. Let's see. We got a couple more comments. Have you gotten confirmation about the planet Kropnik, which is similar to Earth in our same solar system? Have you heard about that at all?
Uh, I wonder if planet Kropnik is the 12th planet that NASA was announcing. There is actually after Pluto. They're saying yes. So I guess that's what it is.
So Angeline just wants to give you a testimony for the frequency. That the frequency she got from you was amazing. I feel it in her whole body. She could feel it
Yeah.
vibrate throughout the whole body when she listens to it, and it helped her through her healing process. So we want to really thank you for you reaching out and
Thank you.
sending that for her. That's such a blessing, and we really love you, man.
Thank you so much, guys. Frequency healing um, programs are up there. The Genius is only one. There is a lot of them up there. The biofeedback is only one. Um, the good thing about the frequencies is that you can actually create your remedy water. You can play the frequency in front of the water and order your water to transmute into your frequency. So technically, you tell your water, "I want you to become a frequency so I can heal my body." That's how you create your remedy water. And people is actually healing themselves physically. So it's a big deal, though. This is a big thing. Sound healing, holistic medicine is going to take over eventually.
And if for some reason you can't afford any of this stuff, just talk to your water. Tell
Just
your
talk to me
water.
straight up. Tell me straight up. You know what? I cannot afford it. I give you a frequency. No big deal.
Well, I was gonna say, talk to your water and tell your water. You can tell your water to heal me, send me. But this
Yes.
this beautiful man says, if you really need one, and you can reach out to him, and he's got a really good heart. And so,
If you're being honest, and if you really need it because you're very ill, let me know. I send you a frequency. No problem. No cost. I've done it. I've been doing it since last year. And if you don't know your star family and you don't have any money, reach me out. I'll tell you who your star family is. I'll tell you your star family and your planet. How about that? Better than nothing. Right?
yeah,
You don't
man.
have $50, you don't have $100 to pay because that's how much is the star family star ancestry reading. No problem. I have my free version. People reach me all the time and says, Andres, who's my star family? I'm sorry, I cannot give you money right now. Sure. Is your symbiont being right to know where you're from?
But be honest, because if you can only afford $10, say I can afford $10. If you can't afford any, say I can't afford anything right now, but I'd really like to know. But if
Hey,
you can afford it,
any donation,
then if you can
yeah,
afford it though, don't try to get a free reading, because he's out there helping people and giving people free readings. So if you can afford it, then don't use this man's kindness.
absolutely. I'll tell you what, we're getting to the point that we know who we are, all of us. So even if we lie each other, we're gonna know he's lying. It's okay. It's
Oh, I got a good bullshit detector.
okay. All right. I love you very much. I'll see you guys on the ship. Okay.
Love you. Thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you for sharing this information. Thank you for being you. Thank you for, the offer that you give and all that you do to better humanity. We love, respect, and honor you. And we will talking to you again, I'm sure, very soon.
Absolutely. I'll see you, all of you, on the ship. Take care.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Oh,
Bye.
and next week we've got Derek Brose on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then on Thursday, we got Richard J. Short for the second time. We've got Star Child, which recently just got introduced to me, someone who's a Star Child. And then we're hoping to have Tom Barnett for a second time. He hasn't confirmed the email, but that's who we plan on having next week. So we have Derek Brose, Richard J. Short, Star Child, and hopefully Tom Barnett. So thanks everybody for being a part of the Missing Link. You all are what make it happen. Thanks for your likes, comments, and shares. We're being censored right now on both YouTube and Facebook. So any shares that you can do, likes, comments, that just helps with the algorithm. So, love you all. And last few comments. Thank you for sharing your beautiful energy. Yes, thank you to Andrés. Thank you, love, light, and good night. And Happy Girl says thank you. So thank you all for, being here, commenting, responding, and, being what the Missing Link is. We'll see you all next week or next time we see you. Bye, everyone.